So what we'll do is we'll just test it like this and see if it works. And if it does, we'll talk about Dune after.
Yeah.
Okay, but now that I finished Squid Game, all right.
What did you post? I didn't get to see.
Okay, so I posted that, like, I still don't like the VIPs, and I never have, and I ended up never liking the VIPs.
Okay.
And that I called that the old man was a VIP, like, episodes ago.
Yeah.
Because, one, you never see him die, and two, there's a VIP you never actually see, and he sets down his mask and has, like, an old man hand, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they gave it away so fucking.
They gave it away, and I was like, bro, that's not even like a twist. You can't be like, oh, that's a surprise. I'm like, of course he's a VIP. He just wanted to play, and now I'm gonna have to wait for I don't know how many episodes for that to finally get revealed, and it's just like, come on, guys. Like, what I would have done is I would have tried to obfuscate his hand a little bit, so maybe you didn't see it. To make it a little more difficult to guess. Because the rule, as far as usually in fiction, is that if you don't see a character die, you need to see their dead body. And you'll notice that in episode 7, whose body did we see immediately? We saw Ali's body.
Yeah.
We saw him being put in the box, but whose body did we not see? Like, we didn't see the old man's, and so, like, it's kind of obvious. It's like, well, he's not dead then. But my favorite episode's still episode 6, though. I really like that episode a lot.
Here's my question. Why did he not come back? Because, like, I get the whole thing of him being, like, participating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he's like, I can't introduce myself. But why didn't he just, like, eventually come back? Like, again, he's in bad health. But, like, I don't think that would stop him from coming back into it. And then they never seemed to ask about him again. But then they also never asked about Tiger Guy again. But then again, Tiger Guy was a dick.
Yeah.
So maybe they just didn't care about Tiger Guy, but they didn't care about the host. I mean, he's kind of the guy holding it. So if you cared about anybody, you'd be like, hey, it's still kind of weird he's not back.
Well, it was kind of odd, yeah, that they never mentioned that there was a VIP missing. Because, like, Tiger Guy, I think he shows up in the finale, but I don't think he has any lines. I think he's just standing there, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I thought he died. I didn't notice him coming back.
No, I think it was just unconscious. But, like, the thing is, what was odd is that they never ask about the old man.
Yeah.
Because if they know he's a VIP, like, is that a secret? Is he a secret VIP? Like,
they said the host was going to introduce you, so you think that they would be, like, more interested in seeing the host again. And he mentioned that they were business partners, so you'd think that they would know him to an extent.
Yeah. It struck me as almost like a Village situation. Have you ever seen The Village by M. Night Shyamalan? It's a shitty movie.
I haven't seen The Village.
Okay, it's a shitty movie. I guess I'll give away the twist if you don't mind, because it's a shitty movie.
Sure.
Okay, so the twist is that the village is actually in a nature preserve, and they're not actually in history. Like, it's not like a historical, like, old-timey village. It's an old-timey village that's, like, in modern day. And that all of the adults essentially are, like, banded together, and they all know that it's not real, but none of, like, their children know it's real. Like, their children think that it's, like, a real thing.
Question.
But the adults know it's fake, right?
Is it like a weird thing where, like, they're, like, this, like, off-sect of, like, a religious group where they're, like, Amish?
No. It's really dumb. So essentially they all had, like, tragedies happen to them, and they were like, let's just build a thing in a nature preserve, and it's like, okay.
So shitty commune.
It's shitty commune, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's a great title for The Village, Shitty Commune. God, that movie sucks so bad. Oh God. Okay, we're not gonna talk about The Village, but yeah, The Village sucks. 4 out of 10. Nah, 3 out of 10. So I was like, oh, it's like a village situation where, like, all the adults, in this case all the VIPs, like, they know each other and they're partners in this whole game, this whole thing. And the front man, honestly, I thought the thing with the front man, because the front man is revealed to be a previous victor of the games, I thought they were gonna have our main character be the front man. And I thought they were gonna offer him the position to be front man. Like, after this current guy, like, dies or whatever, they're like, hey, if you want to be front man, just let us know, give us a call. And they didn't really do that at all, which I thought was a little odd. And then, like, he shows up, like, he's gonna board a plane, and he calls them, and they're like, hey, don't get any funny ideas, and then he's gonna leave the plane, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, bro, they murdered Epstein, man. They're gonna, like, you're gonna suicide your ass. You realize this, right? Like,
actually, I don't even know if that would be the big issue, because I mean that could happen, right?
Yeah.
That totally could happen. But here's the fucking thing, all right?
mm-hmm.
So like, you just have a card,
Mm-hmm.
and you know when they're gonna pick somebody up, right?
Yeah.
They can just not do it.
Yeah.
Then where's your lead?
Yeah.
Where's your fucking lead?
Yeah, they could just be, because they're clearly watching him.
Now-
Because
now-
they literally say, like, hey, board the plane, and because it'll be for your own good, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
So my question is, okay, so if they have eyes on him 24/7, then logic would dictate that they're obviously, like, not going to let him anywhere near the game again, unless, of course, they wanted to make him, like, game master, which apparently there is kind of a closed off, like, that bridge has been burned, because clearly he is not a fan. But yeah, it's just like, bro, like, you can't fight this group of, like, shadowy elites that go all Hunger Games on poor people. Like, that's not.
And mine's not even from a sense of like, yeah, you're gonna get murked. It's more from a sense of like, if they want to like be evasive and like you not ever find them out, you never will. There's literally no.
Yeah, because they can just not. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is that it's like, if they have surveillance on you, because literally the line is just get on the plane. It's for your own good. Then he decides to not get on the plane. Like, look, I get the main character is an emotional kind of guy. I get it. I get that he's kind of an emotional dude. But it's like, bro, like, they're gonna Epstein your ass. Like, these are the motherfuckers that probably killed Epstein. Like, you're gonna what, do epic battle with these people? Like, I get that you're really rich, and he didn't give away all his money, because, like, there's no way, like, I did the math, there's no way all of his money could fit inside those briefcases. Yeah, he gave, like, the half.
He gave the half, yeah.
So, like, he still has a shit ton of money.
Here's the thing, though, that got me too, right?
Yeah.
Here was my mask critique. If you pay attention to when he puts down the owl mask, it's heavy as fuck. Like, it is heavy as shit.
Yeah.
So, that's a weird one. Like, you have an old man who's probably not got, like, the best back and, like, lumbar thing going on, and he's wearing this thing that's, like, I don't know. That thing sounds like it's in the 20s or 30s of pounds. Like, when he puts it on,
he puts it down, when he puts it down, it makes a sound where you're like,
heavy.
wait, what? Maybe that was the sound department just kind of fucking up, and maybe they're supposed to be lighter.
And it's also pretty big, too, and it's got all this bling on it, so it's definitely not comfortable.
It's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable. Yeah. It's heavy as shit. Yeah. Side note, my favorite moment with a VIP does happen on that episode, though, because you have the VIP speak Mandarin, and I was like, finally, thank fucking God, because, like, I'm sitting here and it's like, okay, you got a Korean guy and the rest are white dudes,
yeah,
and it's like, you're not gonna have anybody else who's from, like, another country. I think the guy wearing the bear mask is, like, Russian, so, like, you do have at least somebody who's at least a little bit non-West, which I even have a problem with him, though, because, like, all the other masks sort of, I guess there's another mask that kind of falls into they kind of fall into, like, this thematic thing.
Yeah.
But the bird mask and the fucking bear mask takes it out for me, because if they were all, like, Zodiac-ish, which
that's what I thought at first too. I'm like, oh, it's like a Zodiac thing, but then it was like, wait, but there seems to be no rhyme or reason of it. So I guess they just designed cool masks. I kept calling the deer mask guy Robert Baratheon, though.
Yeah, the guy who has, like, the stag or whatever.
Yeah, the guy that has the stag. I just kept saying, like, his words were ours are the fury, and I'm like, motherfucking Robert Baratheon kicking it in the afterlife.
And that was, like, the one good line that a VIP had, if we don't count the the old man.
Yeah.
That was, like, the one good line, the Mandarin line, where it's like, oh, thank God. And then there was, like, kind of that quippy line from the guy wearing, like, the bird mask. That was kind of nice.
I thought the VIPs were fine. My problem with the VIPs, and the reason why I thought they were just kind of cringy and not really necessary, is that they didn't actually contribute to the story.
Yeah.
My issue is that they essentially just kind of spouted exposition, like, okay, so the bridge, right? One of them's like, that looks like a bridge, and it's like, yeah, thank you. Show don't tell, like, it's a visual.
They're bad commentators.
They're bad commentators. Yeah, they're like really piss poor, like, NFL commentators that are like really shitty, and you're like, bro, you should lose your job.
Not to mention, they state that this is not the first games.
Yeah.
So these people might have attended games before, so, like, some of this stuff being, like, new to them seems kind of fucking weird. Like, they should know kind of the ins and outs of this.
Like, they could have written the line a little differently, where he's like, that's a weird bridge, and he's like, huh. And so, like, they almost comment on, like, the bridge is kind of odd, instead of being like, that looks like a bridge, and it's like, yeah, It does look like a bridge, genius. Thank you for uttering the fucking obvious. Like, I understand what a bridge looks like. I've seen a bridge before.
Bridges are for the poor.
The bridges are for the poor. Yeah. Social commentary. Yeah. Is it a bridge? I've never seen one before. It's like, yeah, okay.
This man doesn't understand like bits of like common infrastructure because
Yeah,
he just like never deals with it.
He just never dealt with it.
Are these stairs?
Are these stairs? Yeah. Overall, it's a good show. Like I said, I would buy it on Blu-ray if Netflix ever released a Blu-ray, but it is definitely not the masterpiece that everybody seems to be screaming about.
Also, can we also talk about like how the biggest thing with the main character is that like he has a lack of character development?
Yeah.
He probably develops the least out of any character in the whole show.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, decent. What would you rate it?
So another thing,
I'm thinking 7.5.
Yeah, 7. It's a 7.
Like a 7.
It's a good
7.5.
7. It's a good 7.
It's a good show.
Side thing I was gonna note. So another thing is we noticed that like he gets all this money and he can do all these things to make things better, but he doesn't. Like we don't see him looking after the mother. He just basically drops off the kid.
After a year, because it says year later, and I'm like, bro, your friend's dying wish was like, please look after my brother, and like we don't even hear anything about the mother. Like he doesn't use his money to get the mother, and I'm like, this piece of shit has a bagajillion dollars, and he doesn't think like I should go get this kid's mother out of North Korea, and get her into South Korea, and then I can reunite them. He doesn't even think of that. He's just like, here, have kid and a lot of money. I'm off.
Which is not exactly the nicest thing, because it's like
it's not the nicest thing. It's a dick move, because like that kid is missing his sister now, which he doesn't even reveal that she's dead. And I'm like, bro, he's gonna find out when she's like doesn't come back. He's gonna put 2 and 2 together. Like you need to break the ice and be like, she's gone, but I'm gonna find your mother. I give you my word, I will get your mother.
And then he also just kind of let that whole thing with his...
He just leaves the kid. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. You have a bajillion dollars. You have more money than God. And you're just like, I'm sad.
Then he didn't save his daughter either. He let his daughter go off to America. He didn't try to fight for custody or anything.
Yeah, and then
he just kind of went like full on deadbeat.
Yeah, and he deadbeats again because he's like, I'm gonna go do battle with the elites, BRB, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna get Epstein, and your daughter's never gonna see you again. Shut the fuck up. Just be a decent person. Do good locally. Don't give away all your money. Don't go all MC Hammer, but like give your money to like people and get them to invest in stuff and just like do good locally, reunite the kid with his mother, and then grow old and die.
I mean, if you want to get back at it, this is not the way how. I mean, hire detectives and do something.
Yeah.
This direct thing ain't gonna do for shit.
Yeah, good show.
Also, he basically led to his mother's death.
Yeah.
So that was another thing too, where it's like,
Yeah, it is what it is.